I have to force this goofy thing. I don't know why.
Ready.
All right, so what are we looking
All right,
at?
yeah,
Trent,
timer's probably
bump.
already began, so we're probably a little off on time. That's typical. I don't usually get that correct.
That is some speed right there.
Yeah,
Han
these boys are not
goes,
going to be slowing down, I don't think.
And then Qi'ra goes. And then,
So now it's a.
Qi'ra's making shields. Hello.
I need to put the damage on. These are massive tokens. 2 with a shield.
3 with a shield. Gotcha. All right. Claim.
Pass.
All right. Ryan on the button, although they haven't moved it. There we go. All right. So Cassian and a shielded Hylabon Enforcer here in round 1.
Strong plays from both sides. Although you can do that in Han Yellow. You play the Liberated Slaves. It's the same guy without Smuggle. You'll get Cunning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to sit here and gripe the whole match because this guy's playing red. He can't do. Where's Cunning?
Come on. Be
No,
nice.
it's all good.
Be nice. Trent rocking the KTOD shirt. Shout out to the boys on the KTOD Discord. Oh, we are in round 4. I need to update that. I forgot to do that last round. There we go. Ryan on the button, figuring out what to discard from his resource pile.
Oh, I thought you were using Surprise Strike on me. Okay, got
No,
it.
It's actually a difficult choice. Even like when you're the Han player, you're looking into there with the expectation that you're going to have tech at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is stuff that, even though it's none of this stuff I may have Smuggle, like later it might have Smuggle.
Do you know what I wish in these Han matchups? I wish that we had, like, you know how in some of the poker tables, professional poker, they have the camera you can see the face-down cards? I would love to see these resource rows in some of these Han matchups.
We should talk to the person who puts all this equipment together for the stream.
You're talking about the table in the facility, sir. I believe you have crossed a line that I will have
hooks under the table.
a difficult time catching up to. Yep.
There he is. Now everything under there has
relevance.
Smuggle.
And only the player on the board knows what it is. Everything in Ryan's row now having Smuggle.
Let's go through tech.
Yep, I was going to say, I expect Trent to try to punish that play, and that'll allow him to clean up tech with the Super Laser Tech next round. So if Ryan wants use out of tech, he better do it first action. Otherwise, that Super Laser Tech is 100% going to just, I think, end Tech's game.
Could he play Command here and put 2? No, he can't.
No, not in that deck, I believe, no.
We're both at 4, right?
We're about to get
Yeah.
far.
Okay, cool.
Go make some minor adjustments to the camera between rounds. Matt's moved a little bit, but that's okay.
Keep bumping things.
It's inevitable. All right.
Things.
Ryan's got a resource decision to make here. What am I looking at?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he has only got 3. He
putting
hasn't
it-
resourced yet.
He hasn't resourced, so that's a decision. Normally, when you talk about a Han player, their resource
He's
decision
on
is what do I
Sabine,
blow up.
Surprise Strike. I think that's a Poe and a Waylay. Yep, he's going to Waylay the Super Laser Tech. I love this.
I mean, he's still. I mean, that's a good play. Tech is still.
Oh, that's not the right card.
So, okay.
It has a 3 on it, and it's yellow though.
I hit the wrong button. Here we go. That's what he played.
Let's...
So now does Ryan protect
I'll ECO.
Tech? Oh, ECO.
Interesting.
So that was just the
Okay.
Waylay. Traded the Waylay for the ECO
Yep.
message. ECO
Waylay causes Trent to burn his use of ECL.
and the 3 resources.
And obviously.
Well,
yeah, he's
2
got to spend the
resources.
resources. He hasn't spent them yet.
Cost me 3.
There we go. Now he's got it.
Back under resources ready. Like so.
There we go.
All right, here we go. Got a 3-2 on the left side with Trent and the Hylabon Enforcer.
You probably can't hear these guys,
Yeah,
can you?
can you turn them up in my ear?
I might be able to turn them up a little bit, yeah. Ryan just said this is a weird matchup. Cassian going to clean up the Hylabon, take some damage back. Doesn't want to leave Trent with a board presence here.
So Ryan over here is playing control now. He is not trying to race,
You go to 4, you go to 5.
which is an interesting choice
I think-
for Eric being against a control deck.
I think he's trying to wait out the Qi'ra flip here without getting cleaned off the board.
Okay.
Right? Because
Round it up.
what so commonly happens with Qi'ra is you flip Qi'ra into an overwhelming barrage and you just wipe out the opponent's board in kind of one swift go.
Okay.
He does go ahead and deploy Qi'ra here.
Oh, they're okay now. They're flip double-sided.
There we go.
Now we think.
Ryan, for the moment, a resource behind. Trent with a little bit of ramp there in the early going. Going to go ahead and claim. And we're going to go ahead and clean up Cassian, which leaves Qi'ra now as a 7-1 with her grit.
Now all of the answers in Ryan's hand that are immediate are red, which goes completely against my idea that he should be playing yellow. The red he could have in his deck. So now
I love how you say he should be. Like you're making these decisions for him.
I know. But now, like, he needs a red card, and so I'm at a loss here to say why he should be playing yellow. So clearly,
he might. I mean, he might have a daring raid. If he had it, he probably would be just kind of salivating right now. But
windmill slam.
Those exactly. You just kind of like slam dunk. I have exactly the card I need. It's interesting. Red yellow hero.
I'm gonna have to think about this resource.
That combo is just really, really strong in the current game. It doesn't really it almost doesn't matter what leader mix you put it with, whether it's Sabine yellow, whether it's Quinlan Tarkentown. We're looking at Han yellow right here. There's so many strong cards in those two colors for hero. I won't say it's irrelevant, but it almost is irrelevant which base and leader you mix and match if you choose the right cards and play the match right.
All right. I'm sitting here thinking, because this is the big turn for Han. This is
Yes, this should be Han's coming out party, or at least it can be if Ryan wants to play it that way.
He still has to deal with Qi'ra. Qi'ra's going to sit back. Probably going to sit back to take out the Han for when he flips him, so he'll have to deal with it before him.
Yeah, if I'm Ryan, Han's not coming out on the board until Kira's gone. And there's no, we don't know what answers he's got in his hand or his deck. Okay, I love this. Going to smuggle in a Cassian.
This is 5. Not going to get a 6, but he will
No.
get a 7.
You have 0.
He could still use Han's text and field Han this round if he wants. Ooh, there's the OB. That's exactly the kind of play that Qi'ra wants. Feels a little bad that he's only going to get Cassian out of it though. But still, that's a 9-3 Qi'ra.
Yeah, he's gonna burn Han
Yeah,
here to
trade. He's happily gonna make that trade. Yeah,
almost a third of his damage.
That feels terrible if you're the Han player, but I think it beats taking 9 to base. Now, typically Han's top end is going to be a little lower than Kira's, right? He's going to curve out probably around like Big Boy Han, Ambush Han, and then like maybe the new Enfys Nest kind of thing.
Yeah, 7s are where he wants to live.
We know he could be with red. He could also be looking. We could be seeing Poe and Wrecker.
Could be safe. Actually, he's probably playing 9 for a Crate Dragon.
You think he's going to go as high as crates?
He can ramp up. So a Crate Dragon is 8 to him.
Yep.
Not 9.
That's true.
So as an 8, the Crate Drop is as a 9. It's pretty good. As an 8, it's sick.
That's true.
How's it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Double yellow.
This is a tough matchup.
So everything out of the middle of the board is already used.
Yeah,
I mean,
both leaders.
He can use Han. He can use Qi'ra.
Yeah, they can use
stuff,
but both leaders have deployed and been sent home.
I saw the Poe.
He had a Poe in his hand earlier.
What are we throwing down at 5 here?
There we go.
Poe.
There's the Poe.
You're playing Poe. Okay. Play Vader.
Okay.
Vader into Poe is not great.
It's not going to feel very good. No.
Poe doesn't die, and then next turn Ryan has the. Has the initiative. But he just dies to Poe's extra ability.
Right. Exactly. Depending on what Trent fishes out here, if he comes up with a Sentinel, and he does.
I mean, he's trading 2 cards at 7 for a 5.
So yeah, that's just it. Poe. I mean, all that Vader's going to end up doing here is kind of. Oh no, he cuts the High Laban and the Pike Sentinel. Okay, that's actually a much better play for Trent, right? The Sentinel, because now before Poe could have cleared the Sentinel and the Vader straight up, but now even if he does, the High Laban will be left behind.
Pretty good. That's an interesting use. Vader, you always think of Vader as pulling up. What card is Vader going to pull up? Because people play so few 1-drops.
Yes,
in the deck, especially black 1-drops.
But sometimes he can pull 2.
He gets 3. He gets 3 no matter what.
Yep.
3 cost worth of dudes.
We'll see what Ryan does here.
He's at 7 now, so this is where the big stuff comes in.
Right. We could be looking at. He could have Enfys. You could have new Infus or old Infus.
Most people are going to have Han here. Like
I would
gonna
think
have
Big Boy Han is the likely play.
But he's still going to attack with Poe first to
Yes.
kill both of them. He's going to kill Vader. He's going to
Yep, so
kill
he's going
Pike.
to knock off the Sentinel and use Poe's ability to murder Vader.
So now Qi'ra might use this moment to shield up. Oh, yeah, Death Trooper would have been a nice
Death Trooper would have been sexy. Chad is right, but didn't fish it out.
Other Vader. This is a hyperspace Vader. Very pretty.
Coming everywhere.
But it's not going to do anything. And Han is a 6, so Han can't really do this back turn. So Han will have to attack somebody else.
Assuming that's the play.
Assuming that's a play. You got to assume he has this A7 drop, and it's usually Han in this place. Some people also run the new Infus. Some people run other 7s, but everybody runs Han.
Yes. I mean, 6 damage.
I can see
I
the
could
Han
actually. I saw it go by in his hand.
Yeah, you saw it go by.
You saw that red art is unmistakable. So he absolutely has it, but it's not
There's a
going to be
color.
enough to kill Vader.
Whatever the red is on the top right of Han's card is what.
Yeah,
what
it's
shows.
very distinctive. Looking for a smuggle card, just taking a peek at what he's got hiding down there.
I just want to point out for a moment what a
There
speed
it is.
shuffler, hand shuffler Ryan is.
Yes.
His hand is just, the way he goes cards in his hand, it's just warp speed.
Now I'm not quite sure why you do that.
Because he has another one.
You think so?
He has. Well, he's counting on another one.
Okay.
Because he's going to lose the other one to the highlight. He's going to lose that one to highlight on, so he has to have some backup.
Did Ryan
Or
scoop?
no, he didn't have one. The game is over.
Shield really jacked me up.
I think Ryan just scooped on full health.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You want to trade there?
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah.
he was out of gas. He knew what he was looking for.
Mm.
I'm guessing there's not a crate in there.
I guess Han is as high end as he tops out. That surprises me.
Were you at the PQ in Houston?
I wasn't.
Okay.
Couldn't make
I would
it
be
out.
willing to bet he brings a crate in.
Should have gone because I heard there was room, but I didn't register in time and they wouldn't let me
All
register.
right. Well, we're going to game 2,
5 hours for nothing.
despite basically very little base damage being
Ooh,
done.
he's bringing in Krennic. I mean, not Krennic. What's her name?
Really?
The other 7 drop.
Oh my God.
I was playing 30
Bounty
point
hunter.
Qi'ra.
Oh, you're talking about Aura Singh.
Nope, not that one. The one from Book of Boba Fett.
Fennec Shand.
Fennec Shand, the one that she.
Okay.
So it's just right there on
Now
top.
that will be a useful card, right? The way Han works, he ends up with so much junk in his discard pile, usually because he's constantly throwing resources in the trash, if you're aggressive about using his game text.
She has no
Now
sugar.
there will be a method to his madness of the choice of what to, another thing. That's so interesting that his deck, and then by extension the game, has made you've got to get rid of one of the cards that you got rid of earlier by putting it face down. Now you have all this stuff to consider as choices.
Right. He's pulling in Fang Fighters too, I think, to deal with the shields.
The shields.
He was saying a minute ago that the shields really messed him up. He was not kind of expecting to deal with that. I think sometimes people forget, Qi'ra's front side. I think one of the reasons, for starters, I don't know if you've been out there a whole lot today. There's a lot of Qi'ra in the field today.
We've seen several of them.
Well, we've
and
seen several,
I haven't been looking
but
around.
I mean,
I've just been sitting
there's a lot of Qi'ra as you walk around, and I think sometimes the fact that her front side is almost as strong as her backside is kind of forgotten. People get focused on that flip turn and the grit and the way it damages and the mechanics of it, but being able to put just for a couple damage, being able to put shields on something can be really, really strong. Chat saying, don't feel like it's a good matchup. I agree. I don't feel like it's a good matchup for Han. To Trey's point, if it was a yellow Han, I think it would be a better matchup. But I think red Han, because he lacks some of that ambush.
Cunning. He lacks cunning. Cunning is like the.
Oh, yeah.
best cards in the
Cunning
game.
would absolutely really mess up Trent's day.
She puts a shield on somebody, and then Ryan bounces that guy, and then makes somebody hit for +4. That's huge.
That's massive. Yeah.
I mean, that's just what Cunning
Yeah,
does.
for sure. For sure. It's interesting. Some of the double aspect cards, the big named events from set 1, right? Like Cunning and Vigilance and all that. Some of those people have decided are strong enough to pay 6 for, that they see play in, let's say, non-double, off aspect matchups.
Vigilance is in a lot
Vigilance
of
is in a
blue-green
lot of
decks.
green blue decks, for example. You don't see Cunning make its way into yellow and something else, generally. I haven't seen much of it anyway.
I think it's because Cunning is a much more aggressive card that you want to play on 4. Something like Vigilance, you can pay 6 for because your deck is inherently slower.
That's a
And
fair
so
point.
You're going to get to 6 to play
You're
it.
probably ramping out to that anyway.
Yeah, you're killing things, you're bouncing things, or not bouncing, maybe bouncing, but you're getting rid of things so that it's easier for you to get to 6.
Yeah.
Whereas a yellow deck wants to is using it to push damage through and to slow your opponent down by bouncing something or tapping something or whatever. And so you just really want to play it on 4.
Yep. And in those double yellow matchups, cunning on 4 feels absolutely backbreaking in certain instances. Like it just takes what at that point was like, it's a pretty good match, it's solid, we're going along, and then suddenly it's like, oh, I just got kicked in the face. A single cunning feels that way sometimes. This is Ryan's. I mean, we're talking earlier about pile shuffle versus mash and everything. Ryan does what I do. I will almost always, especially after I sideboard, I will almost always do a pile, at least one pile shuffle to break things up, and then come back with some mash. Like universally.
It was dark. It was super dark outside for most of the time.
That's true. Qi'ra as a bad matchup for Han is pretty thematic.
25th.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
Jack coming in with a good point there.
Okay.
But I think it's not necessarily Han. I think it's just this particular Han, right? Like I'm with you. Like Han yellow, I think would play better into this matchup. I think Han green would actually be a bad matchup for Qi'ra. Personal opinion.
Like the casino one?
No, not the casino one. Like, did you see about 3 weeks ago? The deck, I think Alex, with the KTOD, one of the KTOD guys was playing Han green. He won one of the New York PQs on it, and it was a very, very strong deck. He had some very spicy stuff in there. It was a little. I won't say it wasn't purely casino because he had some off aspect stuff that the U-wing would fish out.
That's the casino.
A little
play.
bit, right? Like, but they weren't like crazy cards. It was like a Luke, a Cad Bane was one of the more interesting ones I thought. But I think that matchup into this is a little more interesting because you're playing more of the long game. Well, Ryan's going to start this game on the button. Let's see how he kicks things off here. Still working on resources. I'm pretty sure that's a Poe at the far left. It looks like he's got a liberated slave. I see a Sabine.
Ready when you are.
Pretty sure that's a Sabine. Yep, there we go.
Yes, that's a Sabine.
And a Dr. Pershing, which I did not fix between rounds. Somehow I have missed this guy. Let's see if that's Dr. Pershing. It is not. Okay, I got to work on that. For some reason, he's not in my setup here. I don't know how I missed him.
Do you have a video where you show people this setup with this cool Steam Deck?
No, what I'm going to be doing after this PQ so that I can work on it, drumming up interest and allowing me to do bigger and bigger events is to do that video so that folks can see what I can present, what I can offer.
Yeah. This is cool for those of you like watching the game kind of in the background here. He's got this thing called a Stream Deck, which is like a programmable keyboard. It's got 1, 2,
I apologize.
3, 4, 6, 7, 8. It's got 4 rows of 8 buttons.
Yeah.
Every button is like an LCD screen, but he can program and put on there. And apparently, he spent a lot of time programming it.
Oh yes.
Put cards up and all these different buttons to increase health and whatnot. It's very cool.
This programming of the Stream Deck, when I sat down to start planning out what I wanted to do with the stream and the presentation, the Stream Deck was integral to it because I had been using it for other tournament stuff that I knew would allow me to do really cool things. But then I had to sit down and program all the overlays to do it. So that was time consuming, but I think the result is worth it. Ryan's still on the button here as we go into the 4 resource turn. A little bit of ramp for Trent. He must have resupplied that turn and I missed it.
Yeah, I need more reps again.
Because he's on 5. So Qi'ra could already come out.
Okay.
Okay.
Going to go ahead and kill Pershing for free here with Sabine's game text.
Not give him a card draw to kill Pershing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I use it because there was a line there where I could.
On 5, I'm thinking about what Ryan can do. Plo Koon is on 5.
Didn't necessarily mess up. I had to go.
He had one of his open.
It is available.
I was like, I could blow him up.
I mean, Blue obviously available in this matchup if he wants it.
I think he has a.
Well, ECO.
He has his own Qi'ra.
ECL Gideon. Look at that.
And I'll put the experience token on myself.
I love the card. It's just so uncommon to see it. It feels like.
You pull up the gross black border version when my man played the beautiful hyperspace version.
That's
Look at
correct.
That's terrible. Why
That's
would
correct.
you do him so dirty like that?
Because there's only 32 buttons on the Stream Deck.
Oh, fair enough.
Look, I got showcases programmed on. All right, work with me here. What's interesting is that if he decides to bring Qi'ra out this turn, that
that's good.
it will not impact Gideon whatsoever. He'll just heal up and then to go back to where he is now.
Catch the Trent over there
was the
looking at
wrong
your
card.
business card.
I did not.
Now you've had your QR code on the screen. So back to the
All right, so Qi'ra's going to come out,
Oh, and
and then I'm gonna get the right card up for Ryan here. He actually played a K2SO.
Kill
There we go.
Sabine. And I'll put an experience token.
Gideon's going to hand out 2 experience tokens this round.
He needs to get another one. I think
Ryan
he's missed that.
desperately needs to claim here.
No, okay, he's getting. Okay.
He's going to put. Decides to put it on Qi'ra.
That's interesting. 'Cause he went to.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. So it has 9.
She is a
7.
So 3 health left.
3 health
9
left
to
and
6.
7 attack.
7 attack.
yeah. She's a 7/3.
And how many cards you have?
1, 2, 3, 4.
And this is
I
a
guess that
6/6
makes
with 3
him
damage.
kill.
Yep.
Okay. Now does this trigger if I kill it? If I trigger?
So if you trade, yes.
Gotcha. That blows.
Yeah, I found that out.
Interesting question. Gideon triggers even if the guy that attacks into Gideon dies on the way out. Let me. Really?
It's the same reason that if you super
When,
laser.
yeah,
tag-
when enemy units. That's a good point. Yep, just the way it's worded. 100% correct. Yeah. We're several turns in, still looking for first blood. Neither player has damaged anybody else's base here. In fact, there's only been 3 base damage in the entire match, and we're already on game 2.
Yeah. Ryan knows when his deck has run out of gas.
It would seem he certainly knew that in game 1. 5 resource turn for Ryan. We're now in range of Han being able to enter the board if he wants. Got to figure out what to do with K2. I mean, to me, the answer is self-explanatory. I mean, well, I say it's self-explanatory. I feel like you got to kill Qi'ra, but that's going to just let Gideon buff himself again.
It is. But
I still think you got to do it.
they,
You're going to get some base damage through. I mean, Kira's only got 3 HP.
he's
He's going to go for Gideon.
He's going for Gideon.
Interesting choice.
Yes.
It will be. It is one overwhelm.
I'm gonna do 3 damage.
3 to base.
There's
Okay,
your
so
damage.
there's first blood going to Ryan, just like last game. Actually gets 4 damage on the base with that play.
K2SO deals the other 3 to the base. It's interesting that he chose that instead of ditching a card out of his hand.
8 to base.
I think I would have ditched the card too. 8 to base does feel terrible,
Oh, that's painful.
but he can take. It's early game. He can
gotta do
take
4.
one of those hits.
He can kill him with Han on the
Yeah,
flip.
he really needs to not take another one though. Not if he wants to force game 3.
Curious what Trent is going to do. So Ryan's got to do something. Maybe use the Han ability to get Han out. But
Looks like he's going to answer with Hero Qi'ra is what I'm thinking.
Trent hasn't done anything that is on that I'm watching so far that looks like he's dithering, waiting, sitting back, waiting
He
for
is.
Han to flip. He's everything. He's the one thing.
You're at 7?
I'm at 6.
Oh, Palp returns. I can't see the 1 card.
So it's a barrage. Here, I'll show you.
The OB. I see Palp returns.
It's an overwhelming barrage of
There are
Palp returns, a
6.
Vader.
Is
That's
that
a
Snoke?
That's a Snoke
You can bring back
and a
six.
Death Trooper.
I would have to pay its normal cost. I would have to pay 6.
Palpatine's return looks like it's going to be good.
OB?
I'm
It's going to get rid of the OB. I think the OB is 100% the right play. Otherwise, if you don't get rid of the OB now, you're going to see it as the very next thing he does. Like, why would you not? Well, I say very next thing. Kira's already attacked, but I still think you do it.
Is that thing called or?
You don't think he plays Snoke here?
You can't play Snoke. He's only on 6 resources.
I mean, you could play Snoke. He would just be cheating.
I mean, technically, yes.
So you bring out Han. You would have to do Han ability to bring out Han.
He still hasn't. He had discard. Did he? Oh, I
We don't know
apologize.
what
It's
he
not that
chose.
he discards a card. It's what he chooses to make pay more for.
Correct.
Okay, my
Did
apologies.
you hear what he chose? 'Cause
I missed it. I was busy gabbing. It obviously wasn't that. Going to bring back Gideon with a Palpatine return. Somehow,
That feels super.
somehow
good.
Trey,
Somehow.
Palpatine returned. Yeah, he's
Wait,
got
sure.
to bring out Han and get rid of Qi'ra now.
Or Kelly, excuse me.
He's not going to do it.
No,
Oh, yeah,
no,
he is.
they
Okay, we're just going
claimed.
to trade
Trent-
initiative.
Trent claimed.
Okay. That hyperspace Gideon is beautiful.
Can you bring up
I mean, I
Gideon
kind of
again?
didn't because I actually needed a. Kind of didn't mess up.
Yeah.
If he kills Qi'ra, then
No, he's going to get Gideon's going to get a token from Han.
100%.
We trade?
Yeah. Both games, Qi'ra trading with Han.
Yeah.
Yep, and then he needs to put one of those tokens on Gideon. Oh, he remembered now. There it was. Okay.
You to the initiative?
What's your initiative?
What are we doing for 3 here? Trent has already claimed, so it's up to Ryan now to do something with 3.
He needs to.
He wants to.
He does nothing. Wow. He had nothing apparently. He passed. Yeah.
Now he has to defeat 2 things. Going to play well if he ever finds Fennec.
This is the most work I think I've ever seen anybody get out of Gideon Hask. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I've always loved the card. I've just never seen anybody actually make it, like, stick to the board and get good work out of it like this. But this has been, he has been in just an absolute irritant that Ryan has had to deal with. Last game it was the Shields. This game it's Gideon, and there's Vader, which you kind of have to expect is coming. You know he's sitting on it.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just make sure. Yeah, I'll do it. And I'll just these 2.
Hylaban and Pershing.
Man, he is the king of hitting 2 guys out of Vader. That's amazing.
I'll fix Pershing between rounds. I seriously cannot figure out why I don't have him in the deck. He's like the only card I don't have.
Some of this art, especially the new art, is so pretty.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And
They've
some
been
of them-
really up in their game in the art
And
department.
some of it is Hylaban
And
Enforcer.
I'll put a +2 here.
So 7/7? Everything is just like.
Just one little bit off.
What a shocking development.
What killed Qi'ra? Oh, Vader. Vader kills Qi'ra, and
Yeah,
Gideon
Vader
gets bigger.
stomps onto
Dear
the field,
God, this is
walks
just.
over, bonks around the
I
head.
just the longer this match goes, it just feels like the stronger Trent's deck is getting.
Got a pawn in his hand.
We'll just go 7 to base.
I think ECL Gideon is very good.
Excuse me. It's interesting. You're 100% right. I mean, it certainly was fabulous earlier. I'm not sure Ryan can come back now. I mean, that board is insane. He's going to kill Vader, but Gideon can just munch Han for breakfast. So it feels awful. And when Gideon munches Han for breakfast, he's going to get bigger.
Well, he's not going to get bigger. He's going to give it to somebody else.
I mean,
That
he
person can hit it.
could. That's a fair point, actually. Pass the token off and push more base damage with it.
I want him to put it on Pershing and then let Pershing start attacking. Mm-hmm. That would be fun.
That would be hilarious, but I'm not. Or just put it on Pershing and let you draw more cards. I don't know why you would do that, but you could.
That feels like the Harlem Globetrotter whistling would start happening when he starts beating you to death with Pershing.
If you're Ryan, Trey, how do you get back into this game? Like, I don't even know how. Are you seeing something that I'm missing?
Not really. It's got to be somebody big. You got to have a big swing here.
With power to the dark side, even worse. Wow, brutal.
Get a scoop here in a moment. Ryan is the guy who recognizes when.
Yeah,
it's
he's
the
gonna be like,
likelihood is
you know what?
small.
It's time for lunch. Let's just call this one what it is, ladies
Right.
and gentlemen. Wow.
Right, I think he has a disabling Fang Fighter in his hand.
He's got 6 for something. 6 for a Poe. But again,
Gonna get steamrolled.
I mean, yeah,
immediately.
like, he's going to get OB'd right off the
that's
board.
And that's
GG, bro.
There it was.
Yeah,
Just like everything Ryan does,
5,
Trent
6,
has an
7,
answer
8,
for,
9,
and
10.
goodness gracious.
that was a
That was probably,
10
he
hit.
might have been pretty close to lethal damage on the board right there. Anyhow.
Yeah, it puts him to
it seemed like-
25.
Yeah. Just brutal. What a brutal matchup that was.
I don't know this matchup at all.
Goodness
Maybe it's
gracious.
just bad.
Yeah, I
It
need.
seemed bad.
I tried.
Solid game from Trent, man. Just like everything Ryan did, he had an answer for. You know, I think maybe this is,
And even like,
you know, we
okay,
talked a
I'm like-
little bit about
even when I said I messed up,
kind of
I had
Kira's
problems,
matchups
But it didn't matter 'cause it was the over
I don't know about you. When set 2 first came out, we saw a lot of Qi'ra. Like she was kind
Yes.
of she sort of stepped into that gap that Krennic had in the kind of the blue-green villain mid-range control a little bit.
And that was basically what most of the first Qi'ra decks were just Krennic decks with a different leader.
Very, very commonly, yes. They made a few card choices like the Hyliban Enforcers, right? Those came in. The Pike Sentinels, that sort of thing, all came in. But in general, it was mostly the same kind of style of deck. But when set 3 came out, you didn't see a lot of Qi'ra. Like the aggro decks really stepped in. Sabine definitely got, I won't say definitely got stronger, but like she's never really gone anywhere. You had, so there was just so much aggro in the environment, right? Django felt like everybody was playing red, whether it was villain, hero, yellow, green, everybody was paired with red. Qi'ra kind of disappeared. But man, she is back with a vengeance today.
She's here. And I've seen her at some of the other events. I've seen some people that I respect locally playing her a lot. So it's
Well, one of our